It's the massacre still making news tonight. More than a dozen people gunned down inside this home in Juarez. Tonight we have your exclusive inside look at the scene of this gruesome crime. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rick Cabrera.
And I'm Marcela Casas. Right now, the death toll in yesterday's shooting is up to 16. Tonight, Juarez Mayor Jose Reyes Ferriz says this appears to be just a random killing. The victims range from teenagers to adults in their 40s. You'll hear from their families in a moment.
Mayor Ferriz says none of them had any ties to the cartels. The shooting happened early Sunday morning in the southeast Juarez. Chihuahua State Police say 2 trucks full of gunmen pulled up to several homes and opened fire. Here's a diagram put out by Chihuahua State Police. Take a look. In it, you can see the 3 homes and where each victim was shot and killed. Some of the victims were shot as they tried to run away. As you might imagine, this has rocked what is usually a calm neighborhood. Tonight, residents are praying for answers. ABC 7's Paul Cicala spent the day in Juarez talking to the families who lost loved ones. And Paul, what did they tell you?
Well, Rick and Estella, obviously a tough day south of the border in Juarez. I had the opportunity to spend much of the afternoon at the scene of the murders with some of the victims' friends and family members. A crowd of over 100 people, all grieving the loss of their loved ones, packed their way to this middle-class neighborhood in Juarez. Dozens of mourning family members hold back tears as they wait for the bodies of their loved ones to be returned from a Juarez morgue. The victims include 17-year-old Adrian Encino Hernandez, who was recently honored as a model student by the governor of Chihuahua. Adrian's cousin, who was too scared to show her face on camera, tells me it's very painful because he was the soul and inspiration of the family. Adrian hoped to be a doctor someday. Most of the victims, including Adrian, lived in this normally tranquil neighborhood. The honor student resided just 2 homes away from the grisly scene of the murders. Of the 28 people that were shot outside of this home here in Juarez, sadly, more than half ended up passing away as a result of their injuries. As a matter of fact, there's still much left behind from that particular night, including police tape and literally shoes still filled with blood. Witnesses tell me that once the gunmen entered inside, many of the victims ran to this area here, but sadly, that's where they ended up shooting many of the students. In fact, as you can see, there's lots of blood and obviously big holes in the wall from the gunshots.
Esos tan locos, yo no sé por qué hicieron eso.
Jesus Enriquez Miramontes, another victim, was shot in the house next door. He lived in El Paso Monday through Friday and in Juarez on the weekends.
Él nomás se dedicaba a su familia.
A loved one, also too afraid to show his face on camera, tells me Jesus dedicated his life to his family. In fact, he volunteered to coach his son and a handful of shooting victims. They all suited up for the same baseball team, the Sultans.
Él mismo fue entrenador.
Coaches, players, fathers, sons, daughters, all victims of the ongoing violence in Juarez. Well, members of Jesus Enriquez, or rather family members of Jesus Enriquez, spent the evening removing their belongings from their bullet-ridden home. And they tell me everyone still fears for their lives and they can't continue living in a formerly quiet neighborhood that now is the scene of 15 murders and counting.
Oh, that's terrible. It almost looks like it's a movie scene.
Definitely so. It's something that surreal that you would have never imagined is happening in our own backyard, which is south of the border.
It's pretty incredible. Paul, thank you very much.